All right, so the future videos that you're gonna see are a documentation of a relationship that I had recently, and I contemplated whether or not I actually wanted to share my experience out of respect for the other person who, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the outcome of the relationship, I truly have love for, I will always love. And upon investigating the nature of the relationship, the attachment styles, we'll talk about the avoidant attachment style, the anxious attachment style. Regardless of these things, I will always have love for that person. And I had to take responsibility for my actions and the way that I behaved in the relationship. And some of the details, which I want to try to avoid a lot of details if I can help it. Some may bleed into the content, but as it does, I will edit out some of the things that I feel are going to be unnecessary for the point of me doing this, which is to shed light on the fact that, number one, I am a life coach. All right, I'm a fitness and life coach. I've been doing it for many years. And in doing so, even people like myself, who I consider myself to be a high value person with values, moral and ethical principles that I like to share. I like to be sincere, genuine, honest, and open. I put content out there on the daily, although I haven't put it out there in quite a while on social media. I went completely in the dark, and we'll talk about no contact. We'll talk about just going completely silent and the importance of developing that confidence through silence, okay, and just action. So being a coach, you start to understand that a lot of the behaviors that we're dealing with now have to do with our social programming, the propaganda that's out there, the toxic environment that we're living in now. And I think everybody can agree that going back to our divorce rates in this country, a lot of our behaviors stem back to childhood trauma and other negative experiences in life that we end up projecting into our relationships and our everyday behaviors. As I always say, if you investigate the banking system and the financial industries, the human emotion is a variable in their business model. If you can control the emotions of the consumer, you can predict their behavior. And the same goes for using dating apps, social media, things that we have access to. We have access to access, and today it makes it very difficult for us to be held into account and to take responsibility for the way that we end up treating ourselves and then treating each other. And so that's the whole goal and purpose of this content. It's not to kiss and tell, it's not to disrespect anybody. Number one, I had to take responsibility for the fact that I set boundaries, but in the long run, I started to feel myself becoming more anxious instead of secure, which is what I've been healing from all my life. I didn't have a father in the home. So back in the younger days, Jeremy here used to seek validation from external things, even if I were in a committed relationship. How committed are you actually if you're seeking validation and love and attention from other people externally, okay? And so this was an enlightening experience for me, and it only blessed me with the ability to sit in that pain, to sit in that silence, to sit in the discomfort of why it was that I ended up in this relationship to begin with, how I could have behaved and responded to things differently, and basically coming to grips with the fact that God's on my side. The universe is on all of our sides. This discard was for the betterment of not only myself, but the other party as well, hopefully in the long run. As a person who's woken up, who has been enlightened and awakened to the self, I've got a lot of experience with the Jungian model of the unconscious, the archetypes of the unconscious, and how those unconscious things are a part of our unconscious identities that can be triggered emotionally into projection, and how we can behave in a more respectable, loving, and caring way, and how that translates and transforms you, that transformation into living a life that a fulfillment, purposeful driven desires and fulfillment of the things that you really want to be, elevating yourself above the mainstream of consciousness that put us in this situation to begin with. So enjoy the content, and thank you for your time.